Hey everyone, it's Johnny from Hot Take Hockey to talk about a trade rumor. And Craig Button was the one to talk about it on Leafs Lunch. He is not more of an insider, he's obviously more of an analyst for TSN. And I know some people aren't fans of him, some people are. I just think it was interesting what he brought up, and it relates to what we've kind of talked about for the last couple of years. The Leafs acquiring that big two-way defenseman or defensive defenseman. And Josh Manson has been a guy that's been in Leafs rumors or kind of connected to the Leafs in the last couple of years. Honestly, I was looking at an article from all the way back in 2018, early 2018, that the Leafs could use a guy like Josh Manson. So I think Josh Manson is a guy that Leafs could use, and Craig Button brought it up on Leafs Lunch that Josh Manson should be a guy that Leafs target. So if you are watching, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up for more hockey videos. I don't know if you're a Leaf fan, but Leaf videos, NHL videos, I'm going to make a lot, and a lot of trade videos from now until the trade deadline. Josh Manson could be a good one. I mean, you're talking about a guy now getting into his late 20s, big, he's over 6 foot, and right shot defenseman. He brings those aspects you want. Defensive guy, he can lay the body, big physical guy. So it's what Leaf fans want. It's a lot of the aspects, a lot of the characteristics of what Leaf fans want. I'm going to bring up a tweet and what Craig Button responded to. So he goes to the response of a fan going, would Janssen, Moore, CC, and a draft pick work? And Craig Button goes, again, quality lacking, quantity doesn't matter to me, all about quality. So I don't know what Craig Button or maybe other people expect in this trade. I think if you're talking about the draft pick maybe being a second round pick, then I don't think that's that bad of a deal. Honestly, you're talking about Janssen, who can play in a top 6 or at least top 9 role, and same thing with Trevor Moore. I think Trevor Moore has the ability to be a very solid third line player. So you have 2 younger guys than that. Obviously, CC is more for cap complications, and then a second round pick. I don't see the problem in that, but if the Anaheim Ducks are trying to target maybe a prospect, then you're looking at a guy like maybe Bracco or Liljegren, and I don't know if the Leafs want to give that up in this trade. So if you're looking at the Jake Muzzin, and Craig Button also talked about this, Jake Muzzin required the Leafs to give up a first round pick and 2 prospects. So that's maybe a comparable here. I just think Jake Muzzin maybe brings a little more to the table in terms of just his skating ability, in terms of his playmaking ability, in terms of maybe bringing more offense. You can put Jake Muzzin on the power play and it wouldn't hurt you. You can put Jake Muzzin in key situations on both ends of the ice where Josh Manson is strictly defensive minded. He's not the best skater. Honestly, for a big man, he's not horrible, but he's not the best skater, and he's more of a hit what moves, clear the puck out. His numbers aren't bad at all. His underlying numbers, he's usually got a good plus minus for the most part. So he's a guy you want. He's a coach's favorite. Mike Babcock would have loved him. I'm sure Sheldon Keefe would still love him. And I think he's a guy you want on your team. It just comes down to the price, I think, for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They're not trying to give up one of their big prize prospects, and they're not trying to give up another first-round pick. So they already don't have the first-round pick. And if you're looking at the Patrick Marleau situation, that was something they had to overcome. It was something that wasn't an ideal situation whatsoever. And then you're looking at the situation of acquiring another defenseman possibly and not having to give up one of your star prospects or one of your top prospects. I wouldn't call Jeremy Bracco a star in any sense, but then you're looking at the younger forwards that could be expendable, and that would be an Andreas Janssen, or that would be, if you're talking about Trevor Moore, I'm not necessarily saying the Leafs should give up on Trevor Moore, but Andreas Janssen, maybe even Kasperi Kapanen. And I think for Kapanen, it's an interesting one. Would Leaf fans or you guys watching, do you think Kapanen for Manson straight up would be fair? I'm not sure if the Anaheim Ducks think that's enough, or I'm not sure the Toronto Maple Leafs think that might be an overpayment. I think, for me, I think what Kapanen's ceiling is, and especially at his age, I don't think the Toronto Maple Leafs should make a trade like that. I just don't think it's a smart move, especially for a guy like Josh Manson, who I think is that type of player that is going to slow down faster, is going to probably retire a little younger. Maybe that's just speculation on my part, but I just kind of have that feeling with a guy like Josh Manson. I think this is a guy that you acquire and be a solid element in your top 4 for the next couple of years. But I don't think a guy like Kasperi Kapanen should be at the expense of that. So that's my opinion. Definitely let me know. I think if the price is right, Josh Manson could be a primary target for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And that's what I'm saying. If it's a guy like Andreas Janssen, and then maybe a B-level prospect, and then you're talking about a second-round pick, Obviously, a guy like CC, if a cap is not enough, Janssen's cap is over $3 million, so that might be enough. Regardless, I think the Leafs need to target a defenseman, and I think a defensive defenseman over guys like Marincin and CC that are labeled defensive defensemen. Because at the end of the day, for me, if you have CC and you don't make a move for a defenseman, I think your bottom pair should be Sandin or Dermott going to the playoffs, not CC. So I'm talking about maybe Riley Berry, Muzzin Hall, and Sandin Dermott. I don't think CC should be there. I think he's a huge liability. Same with Marincin, so that's my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Again, please do subscribe, smash that like button, leave your thoughts below. This was John from RPO Hockey. Hope to see you on future videos. Lots of trade rumor videos to come, lots of hockey videos, NHL videos, all over the place. So thank you, and I hope to see you soon. All right, have a good one. Peace out.